Stand in front of a mirror right now and raise your right hand. Your reflection raises what looks like its left hand. Simple enough. But here's the part nobody stops to question. Why does the mirror flip left and right, but never flip up and down? Your reflection isn't standing on its head. It isn't wearing its feet where its hair should be. Somehow, out of all possible directions, the mirror picks exactly one axis to reverse, and it's always the same one. That's strange, and once you actually think about it, the answer isn't what most people assume. Here's the trick nobody tells you about, and why it changes how you'll ever look at a mirror again. The common explanation, the one most people give without thinking twice, is that mirrors swap left and right. That explanation is actually wrong. A mirror doesn't touch left and right at all. It doesn't touch up and down either. A flat mirror only ever reverses one direction, front to back, the axis pointing straight out of the glass toward you. Think about what a mirror physically does. Light hits the glass and bounces straight back the way it came. Nothing about that process cares whether something is on your left or your right, or above or below. The only thing genuinely reversed is depth, near and far. Your nose, which points toward the mirror, appears in the reflection pointing back out toward you. That's the one true flip. Front becomes back. So if the mirror only reverses front and back, why does it feel so obviously like your left and right got swapped? The answer lives entirely inside your own head, not inside the glass. When you look at your reflection, your brain doesn't interpret it as a flat image sitting there. It interprets it as another person facing you, the way a person would look if they turned around to face you directly. And there are exactly two ways an object can turn to face you. It can spin around a vertical axis, like turning around on the spot, which is how people typically imagine another person facing them. Or it could flip over a horizontal axis, tipping upside down, headstand style, which is not how anyone naturally imagines a person turning to face them. Your brain, almost automatically, assumes the first option. It mentally simulates the reflection as if it were a real person who spun around vertically to face you. And that simulated rotation is what actually creates the left-right swap, entirely inside your own head. The mirror never did that. Your brain did. Here's how you can prove it to yourself instantly. Lie down flat and look into a mirror positioned above you, so your body is now oriented horizontally instead of vertically. Do this correctly, and the left-right effect can feel like it shifts entirely into an up-down effect instead, because your brain now imagines the reflected person rotating around a different axis to face you. Nothing about the mirror changed even slightly, only your assumed rotation did. This puzzle has a long history in physics and philosophy, often discussed under the heading of mirror symmetry or chirality. Writer and mathematician Martin Gardner spent an entire book on this exact question, called the Ambidextrous Universe, working through why this specific reversal feels so persistently confusing, generation after generation, despite being fully explained by simple geometry. Gardner argued that the confusion isn't really about optics or physics at all. It's a deeply ingrained assumption about how we imagine other people orienting themselves relative to us, baked in so early and so completely that most people never even notice they're making the assumption in the first place. Try holding up a piece of paper with text written on it toward a mirror. The text reads backward, letter by letter, left to right reversed. But rotate that same page 90 degrees and hold it up sideways, and the same mirror will reverse it top to bottom instead, following your own physical rotation rather than any built-in preference in the glass itself. The mirror was always doing the exact same thing the entire time, reversing only the axis pointing directly at it. Everything else was you. So the next time you catch your reflection and instinctively think of it as flipped left to right, remember what's actually happening. The glass never made a choice about left, right, up, or down. It reversed exactly one direction, straight through itself, and your own brain quietly filled in an assumption about rotation that's been running so automatically your entire life that it never occurred to you to question it until right now. Your reflection was never really backward. You were just imagining it turning the one specific way people always imagine each other turning. And the mirror, for its part, was simply doing the one thing mirrors have ever done: